Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, The Real Super Sam. Today is another Spider-Man the Animated Series review and I hope you enjoy. And welcome to another hashtag Spider-Man Sunday. This is the first time I'm reviewing a Season 3 episode from Spider-Man the Animated Series, which this season is my favorite season of the show. In the episode, Norman Osborn is using his company to manufacture chemical weapons for the Kingpin in secret, and Norman is running out of time to complete them for Kingpin, aka Wilson Fisk, a fellow board member he's on. He and his lab partner rush the experiment, and Osborn activates it without taking the safety precautions, causing an explosion. And in the explosion, it seems that Norman Osborn had died. 2 weeks later, at a board meeting with the likes of Felicia Hardy's mom, and Wilson Fisk and J. Jonah Jameson, Harry Osborn is there and insists his dad may still be alive, so they shouldn't find a replacement for him yet. Fisk agrees with Harry, but only so his chemical weapons manufacturing can still go on. At least that's the most probable explanation I can think of. Later, when Peter Parker goes to visit Harry Osborn at his apartment, Harry doesn't seem like himself, like he's mad, full of hate, dangerous. That night, someone has attacked Jameson's limo, and it seems to be the return of the Hobgoblin. But when Spider-Man arrives, he sees it's not the Hobgoblin, but someone new, the Green Goblin. Spider-Man gets beaten by the Green Goblin easily, and his web shooter's crushed. Jameson gets captured in the end. Green Goblin then kidnaps Felicia Hardy's mom and Wilson Fisk. Soon, we learn he's kidnapped all the board members that were with Norman Osborn. Peter and MJ soon come together and realize something's wrong with Harry, and even though Peter can use this moment to bash Harry for taking his girlfriend, he doesn't, saying that they both need to stand by Harry no matter what. When Mary Jane goes investigating into Harry, she accidentally gets captured by the Goblin. With everyone accounted for, Green Goblin will dish out his own brand of justice, but not before Spider-Man arrives to stop him. I'm just gonna say it, this is my least favorite Green Goblin episode of the series. In fact, I don't really enjoy it that much. It's not a bad episode, or even disrespectful to any characters, but the stuff they did with Norman Osborn and the board committee is a bit too different for me. Green Goblin's plan is pretty obvious, capture and kill all the board members. Since this guy is doing it for revenge for Norman Osborn, it makes sense. There wasn't a lot of twists in it for me, or rewatch value. We find out at the end the Green Goblin was really Norman Osborn, and Harry was just tracking down his dad. Norman doesn't even know who the Green Goblin is. It's a case of severe multiple personality disorder. I'm sorry to say, I don't like this rendition of the Green Goblin having two personalities. I like Harry Osborn being the Goblin more than Norman in the show. I will say that it is like the comics, where Green Goblin will return for one story, then get hit hard with something, and Norman Osborn will return, knowing nothing about his Green Goblin antics. I guess the biggest thing I don't like is when Norman Osborn is a Green Goblin, he's literally somebody else when he's in the costume. I always knew Norman was evil with the mask as he is without it on. Here, making Norman Osborn unaware of what he's doing, even before he gets amnesia about it, loses my interest in the Green Goblin ever returning, and just what the Goblin's goals are. I'd say he's a good villain, but in this Spider-Man show, no, he's a little off, but again, that's just me. He feels a lot more like a villain of the week, and that's not something a supervillain on a Spider-Man show, especially his greatest enemy, should feel like. Everything else in this episode I had a great time watching. This is the Kingpin's real big next appearance after episode 25, where he lost his wife, and we don't get anything about that, more about his shady business dealings. Maybe the show did that because Kingpin is now bigger and badder than ever. He is making chemical weapons now, for who knows what. The Green Goblin came after the Hobgoblin in the show, which was weird at the time and still stands out as a unique but welcome change in the Spider-Man mythos today. Norman Osborn's partner isn't Mandrel Strom like from issue 38, but Warden Strom, just a nice tidbit I'd like to mention. The mystery of who the Green Goblin was got me when I first watched it. I thought it was Harry until the big reveal. I give this episode an 8 out of 10. To me, Dr. Octopus is much more of an interesting and cool rogue on the show than Green Goblin. Thank you all for watching. Bye guys, and have a good day.